Hey everybody, welcome back to Subject Zero and part 2 of our series on supplements. This time we are going to get into all of the medicines and supplements that I take daily that are directly related to longevity and how they are related to longevity. Now, this is a much shorter list than the previous video where we mostly concentrated on supplements related to general health and fat burning. But we have a lot more to talk about on each of these items. See, this is where we really get into the nitty-gritty of living forever. Now, once again, I have everything listed in the description below the video with what I take and where you can buy it. Again, if you click through that link and make a purchase, I do get a little bit of a kickback from Amazon for that, which helps me out tremendously, so thank you for that. First up on the list, Resveratrol. Resveratrol was originally lauded for its abilities as an antioxidant, but that seems to be a very unimportant part of what it's actually doing for you. Resveratrol is a molecule found in several plants. It's found in red wine, and it's a big part of the reason why people were saying a glass of red wine a night was good for you. Since you'd have to drink a ton of red wine in order to see the results, I recommend supplements. It's just not as fun. The supplements aren't as fun as the red wine, but you gotta do it. Now this one, just like most resveratrol supplements, they get the molecule from Japanese knotweed instead of grapes, which doesn't sound as sexy, but it's the same molecule. Now, studies in lab animals have shown that resveratrol can increase lifespan by over 20% and decrease DNA damage all by itself. Several studies have proven that resveratrol can help you live longer and be healthier. Now, it won't help you lose weight. You'll have to see some of the fat-burning molecules in our previous video for that. But it'll help you to be healthier even if you're overweight. In one study, obese rats were given resveratrol. They didn't lose any weight, but when they were examined post-mortem, they were found to have the organs of younger, healthier rats. Now, when you combine that with intermittent fasting, which we'll discuss in a later video, the results are even more astounding. If this has the same effect on humans that it does on lab animals, and there's no reason to suspect that it wouldn't, then this one item could, by itself, increase average human lifespans by well over 20 years. But how does it work? It appears that resveratrol works its magic by turning on sirtuins, which are enzymes in our body that work to repair DNA, among other things. In a previous video, we discussed the Horvath clock, which is a clock that reads your biological age by determining damage on DNA. Get used to that, we'll be talking about it a lot on this channel. So what does the Horvath clock have to do with resveratrol? Well, resveratrol turns on the enzymes that go to work repairing that DNA damage. To put it simply, think of your DNA as a house. And not just any house. A huge 4 or 5-story mansion with a beautiful swimming pool, acres of grass, amazingly manicured landscaping, the works. And you have a full crew of people, called sirtuins, that work to repair it. They mow the lawns, they do the landscaping, they do the edging, they clean the pool, they repair damage on the house. When rainstorms come through and blow everything up, they go in and they clean it all. When the roof has problems, they repair it. They keep this place pristine. But as time goes on, the house takes on more damage. The grass keeps growing, more things go wrong, more things have to be fixed, and the sirtuins just can't keep up. I mean, good help's hard to find. And that is where resveratrol comes in. See, resveratrol gets more sirtuins to get to work, mowing the grass, repairing the shutters, fixing broken windows, cleaning the pool, getting your mansion back to its previous magnificence. Which, side note, some younger people I know are saying they'll worry about this kind of stuff whenever they get older, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Why would you let your mansion get run down and then say, oh, well, I'll hire more people to come in and fix it later? Fix it now. Keep the repairs going now. Buff up your repair crew now. And don't let your mansion get run down in the first place. It's a lot easier to maintain something than it is to repair it. Now, I take my Resveratrol with my lunchtime meal because, like vitamin D, it needs a source of fat to bind to so that your body can more easily absorb it. Since I like to fast until around 1 or 2, that's just the earliest I can take it. I choose to take it with my lunch so I can combine it with NMN, which we'll talk about in just a second. The full dose here is 1,000 milligrams, and that's 2 capsules. I believe that the minimum effective dose is actually less than that, so I only take 500 milligrams, 1 capsule, 1 time per day. Now, that's mostly because I'm cheap, but Dr. David Sinclair, who has done a ton of research on this stuff, he's one of the leading experts, he also takes 500 milligrams per day, so I tend to think that there's some validity to my argument. Now, while we're on sirtuin enzymes, let's talk about NMN. NMN is a crazy important supplement. Plus, it's fun to say. NMN. It's like a reverse M&M. NMN? M&M? NMN? It's the little things. So what's the big deal with NMN? NMN is a precursor to NAD. What is NAD? NAD has a symbiotic relationship with sirtuins in the body. To simplify it, more NAD means more sirtuin activity. More sirtuin activity means more DNA repairs. So what does that have to do with NMN? Well, NMN is converted to NAD in the body, and then NAD creates more sirtuin activity. Combine that with resveratrol and you have a potent 1-2 punch. So to continue with our previous analogy, if resveratrol is getting more people, aka more sirtuins, to work on your mansion and your grounds and your pool, etc., then NAD is giving each of those people a crap load of coffee, laced with trucker speed. On an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Dr. David Sinclair said, "You can think of resveratrol as the accelerator pedal for the sirtuin genes, and NMN as the fuel." So because of all that, I take my resveratrol and my NMN together at lunchtime. I don't want to take it any later in the day than that because NMN can increase energy levels. How much so? And thanks again for asking. You ask the best questions. In one study, older mice, and we're talking the equivalent of 65-year-old humans, were given an NAD precursor, just like NMN, just to see what effects it would have on them. Now, to test their energy levels, they were given access to a treadmill. These old-ass mice ran so hard and for so long, they broke the treadmill. Come to find out, the researchers had programmed the treadmill to operate for 3 kilometers because that was 50% longer than what would have been considered an impressive run for like a super healthy, yoked young mouse. And these old cheese munchers ran so far past that the treadmill finally just gave up. So yeah, I don't want to take this stuff at bedtime. Now make sure that you do research on whatever company you decide to buy your NMN from. There are some less than reputable companies right now that are claiming to be selling NMN, but independent studies have shown that what they're selling actually doesn't contain any NMN at all. I don't know what they're selling, but it's not NMN. The supplement business is a shady one, and you're not always getting exactly what's listed on the ingredients label. This one has been verified to contain 98% pure NMN, and it's also the most affordable option I've found. Win-win. Unfortunately, this stuff is still expensive. I currently take 125 milligrams every day, which is 1 capsule instead of the recommended 2 capsule serving. I want to increase that eventually to 1,000 milligrams a day. But even with this company, which again is one of the most cost-effective sources of NMN I've found, that's over $200 a month in NMN alone. So yeah, for now, 125 milligrams a day it is. Lastly, I have the ingredients of that stack that led to the age reversal in that study that we keep referring to. Metformin, DHEA, and human growth hormone. Now, metformin, unfortunately, isn't a supplement. It is a low-cost prescription drug that is currently being prescribed for diabetes and prediabetes. Metformin is being heralded by many people as a wonder drug. In mice, very low doses of metformin by itself has been shown to lead to a 6% increase in their lifespan. It's been shown to reduce cases of cancer, improve weight loss, reduce cholesterol, and improve physical performance. It appears to reduce cardiovascular diseases, dementia, depression, and overall age-related frailties. It has been shown to reduce DNA methylation aging in cells just 10 hours after taking a single dose. Now, if you're interested in metformin, talk to your doctor. If you're overweight, have some blood work done. It's possible that you could qualify for metformin just based on the results of your hemoglobin A1C tests. If not, discuss the possibilities of using metformin off-label for either weight loss or longevity. You may have to point your doctor in the right direction if they're not up to speed on all the most recent studies, but if you have a good doctor, they will at least listen and do their own research before deciding not to help you with this. Now, unlike metformin, DHEA is easily obtained online. This is a hormone that your body produces naturally in the adrenal glands, and it's mostly considered a sex hormone. It also appears to have an effect on diabetes, which is ostensibly why it was included as part of that study. So, from all accounts, the recipients were given HGH, or human growth hormone, in order to repair the thymus. And then they were given metformin and DHEA in order to offset the side effects of the HGH. Most of my HGH is being produced at night with the help of melatonin. To try and combine the three to the best efficacy, I combine 1,000 milligrams of metformin with 100 milligrams of DHEA and my nightly melatonin, in the hopes that the three will work together to try and replicate the results of the study as closely as possible. I'm working on other avenues of creating HGH naturally, but that's a subject for another video. Well, that's it. That was a lot of information, but hopefully you found it useful. If so, give me a like and a subscribe, and then hit that bell icon so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Go ahead. That's fine. I'll wait. No, I think it's up here. Or, wait, up here. Wait a minute. What device is this? What are you watching this on? Alright, and leave me a comment below so we can keep the conversation going. Today's topic is longevity research. What do you think? Do you agree with the scientists who say that they think aging should be reclassified as a disease rather than as a condition that's just inevitable? Their thoughts, of course, are that if it's reclassified as a disease, funding can be funneled towards curing that disease. But then there are other people who claim that since it happens to everybody, it's not a disease, it's a condition. What do you think? Where's your stance? Talk to you later, everybody.